My mother-in-law moved in to help with the baby. Day 3, I checked the nursery camera at 2 a.m. and she was whispering someone else's name to my baby. My mother-in-law moved in 3 days after my daughter was born. My husband, Dan, suggested it. He said his mom, Barbara, had raised 4 kids and would be a lifesaver. I was exhausted and said yes. Barbara was perfect for the first 2 days. She cooked, she cleaned, she did laundry I'd been ignoring for weeks. She held the baby so I could shower. She sang to her. Soft, old songs I didn't recognize. On night 3, I woke up to feed the baby. The nursery was empty, the bassinet was empty. I checked the monitor. Barbara was in the rocking chair in the guest room holding my daughter. It was 2 a.m. The baby was asleep. Barbara was rocking her, slowly and talking. I turned up the volume. She was calling my daughter Margaret. My daughter's name is Ellie. I didn't go in. I lay in bed and listened. Barbara said, "Margaret, Margaret, Margaret, my sweet girl, my Margaret, I missed you so much." She said it for 40 minutes. Then she put the baby back in the bassinet and went to sleep. The next morning, I asked Dan if Margaret meant anything to his family. His face changed. He said Margaret was his mother's first child, a daughter born 32 years ago. She lived for 6 hours. Barbara never got to take her home. Dan said Barbara had processed the loss years ago. He said she sometimes used the name when she was emotional. He told me not to worry about it. I tried. But that night I checked the monitor again. Barbara was back in the chair, calling her Margaret. This time she was crying. She said, "I won't let them take you this time." On day 5, I searched the nursery while Barbara was out. In the bottom drawer of the changing table, a drawer I'd never opened, I found a stack of printed photos. Photos of my daughter. Dozens of them. On the back of each one, Barbara had written Margaret and a date. The dates corresponded to my daughter's birth. Every photo was labeled as though Margaret had been born on the same day. Under the photos was a small box. Inside was a hospital bracelet from 32 years ago. The name on it, Margaret. The birth date matched my daughter's, exactly. Same month, same day, 32 years apart. I showed Dan. He said his mom was grieving. He said she wasn't hurting anyone. He said the baby didn't know the difference. I told him the baby didn't know the difference, but I did. And the woman who renamed my daughter and labeled photos of her as a dead child was living in my house. He asked me to be patient. He said Barbara would go home in 2 weeks. I called my mother and asked her to come stay. She arrived the next day. Barbara left the day after that. She didn't say goodbye to me. She held my daughter for a long time at the door and whispered something I couldn't hear. I deleted the photos. I kept the hospital bracelet. Dan hasn't mentioned it since. I check the nursery camera every night. My daughter's name is Ellie. It will always be Ellie. And Barbara is not allowed back in my house.